How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Crawlers. This is from March 2020 and is Into the Dark Season 2, Episode 6. This, of course, was Blumhouse TV and Hulu's attempt to put out a new horror movie every single month. Being from March, this is a St. Patrick's Day movie. Again, not a Leprechaun movie, but they are going to be talking about St. Patrick's Day party culture. So that was interesting. This is directed by Brandon Zuck and stars Jude Demorest, Giorgia Whigham, Olivia Liang, and Cameron Fuller. And overall, this is one of those modern kind of pop horror comedies. And I don't want to say it's bad, and they keep making horror movies like this. They keep making these modern, kind of quirky, pretty fast-paced, modern horror comedies. Really, though, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I know they keep making them, so I know there must be some audience for them that really likes them. Personally, I like the older horror comedies better, where they put the horror first before the comedy, and the comedy came more from leaning into the concept and just going extreme. These are much more jokey and usually a lot lighter, and I don't know. To me, they're kind of annoying, you know? The too cool for school narrator and the movie thinking it's way more clever than it is. I don't know. Again, there must be some sort of audience because they keep making these movies. And if you want a sort of lazy Saturday afternoon, lighthearted alien invasion movie, it's fine, but personally I didn't really like it. Again, they do this thing in the movie where whenever a new character pops up, they'll freeze frame, the narrator will talk, and then a big splash with the character's name. I find this to be one of the most annoying film tropes, and if I wasn't trying to review all these for this video series, I would have turned the movie off right there. I hate the character name splash, especially because they always use it in movies where the characters' names don't matter. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of stuff like this, but if you are, you'll probably enjoy it. But for real, if you want my advice, this movie is about a bar crawl that turns into an alien invasion. And I will say, if you want a movie about a bar crawl that turns into an alien invasion, Edgar Wright did it first, and Edgar Wright did it better. The World's End is the third in the Cornetto trilogy. It doesn't get talked about as much as Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead, and yeah, those are both better, but this is still the same concept as this movie, but done way better, so I would say check this out instead. But anyway, I guess in order to talk about why I didn't like it, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the plot. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points, and every now and then we will slow down to analyze a few things. Again, I won't go anywhere near the end, but let's take a little bit of a peek at the movie. We open up with a girl on a video doing an introduction. She's saying, "Hey, I know it's been a while, you guys, but I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I don't care what the government says." And of course, the video is doing that glitchy thing, so we know it's a video, even though when real internet video slows down, it's like the character freezes and then moves really fast, and the little chunks and stuff. Yeah, no, this whole little tearing thing is, I don't know, I don't ever really see it. But anyway, she's talking, and she'll pause the movie as the movie goes on and talk over it, you know, witty little quips and trying to explain the plot of the movie. And when we get back from a commercial break, we'll see her talking to us again. Yeah, commercial break. I'm not rich. I can't afford Hulu without ads. But anyway, the thing with her, though, there are a few things. One, she talks about things that she wasn't there for. Like, early on in the movie, there's a scene where a cop encounters an alien. She wasn't there for that. I don't know how she's describing this. Whatever. Second, this isn't a found footage movie. So that implies that this whole movie is just her telling the camera the whole story. And, like, for real, if you have no proof and it's just you for presumably an hour, 20 some odd minutes just telling this crazy story to the camera, yeah, no one's gonna believe you. So I don't know what her plan is. Good for getting your words out there, but to be honest, you're on the internet telling an alien invasion story. I don't know. But I do want to say a few more things on this. One, her hair is completely different in this scene than it is throughout the rest of the movie, which really does make this feel like a reshoot idea. And I really wish they hadn't done it if that was the case, because this whole overly explaining narrator pausing the movie, trying to be quirky, didn't do much really. But also, who she is as a character. She's a local drug dealer and conspiracy theorist, and yeah, the conspiracy theorist element did feel pretty forced. Her theories are either super basic, normie conspiracy level stuff like Paul McCartney is dead. We all know that one. And then they get into just semi-ridiculous stuff like, oh, don't vape. The chemicals? No, not the chemicals. The vape machines have little trackers in them. I mean, couldn't you say that about any machine? And couldn't you break it open and physically see if they're there or not? And I don't know. That was just a weird one. One thing that got me, though, is some people are taking a selfie, and she says, don't take a selfie. That sends your face into the internet where they're gonna deep fake you. Okay, true, but you opened up the movie with you doing a video for the internet. The host who does a video says don't take a selfie because it gets your face to the internet. You're literally posting 24 selfies a second. That wasn't well thought out. Again, the introduction, probably a reshoot. But anyway, we get to the pub crawl. We get 3 friends here, and we get our main character. Our main character has recently woken up at a frat house without any memory of how she got there. She believes she was drugged, and when she was drugged, she obviously has no idea what happened to her and believes she was probably sexually assaulted, which is deep and disturbing and a bit of a case of tonal whiplash. Like I said, this movie is shot in this pop-punk, lighthearted, happy-go-lucky way. Like, this movie is trying to be this wacky comedy, and then one of the driving plot elements is about sexual assault. That doesn't match. And, like, for real, I talked about this movie knocking off Edgar Wright a bit. When Edgar Wright would do Last Night in Soho, again, a movie about sexual assault, he would keep his style, but that was not a comedy movie. And I don't think these two genres can really go together, but whatever. The main character has a best friend, and this best friend is terrible. It's implied that after the girl was assaulted, the best friend goes, wow, you're being depressing and kind of a drag, and she starts to kind of ghost her and hang out with this new friend. And to be fair, the new friend probably doesn't know what's going on, but for real, that is super scummy behavior. But she told her best friend what frat did it, and this frat has kind of a reputation, and now the best friend is leaving the bar with one of the guys from the frat. I mean, she's already rude, but this doesn't make much sense. What is she? Is she trying to get sexually assaulted or something? I don't know what it is, but for the rest of the movie, we're going to be looking for this best friend who sucks. Like, this character is not a good character, and yet it's supposed to be the driving force for a lot of the movie? That doesn't make much sense. But anyway, the narrator character and the main character go to the frat house because they're trying to save their missing friend, and that's where she would probably be. They go to the frat house, and they find the guy that took her from the bar is tied up on the bed with a bite on his leg, and he says that he actually left the bar a long time ago with a different woman, and that woman bit him and then turned into him. Invasion of the Body Snatchers and all that. Now, the doppelganger is the one that took the friend, and she's not just in creepy frat guy danger, but now alien danger. And a few things with this. The alien was already in a human form, bit the guy and turned into him. Why did the alien need to bite the guy and get his DNA when she already looked like a person? Later it says the aliens have a hive mind, so I'm guessing she was just collecting the DNA and sending it into the cloud? It's the only thing I can come up with. I don't know why she needed to do that. And secondly, the aliens in this movie, after they get your DNA, will kill you, except for this guy because he's a main character and he has to tell the story to the other main characters. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't kill this guy. It makes absolutely no sense. But anyway, there's a bigger problem, and that is a large chunk of this movie's themes is about getting people to believe you after trauma. You know, and it is a sad thing with the culture is that a lot of times when women have been sexually assaulted, they try to come forward and people don't believe them or don't take it seriously. And I think they even say the quote, I'm pretty sure they say, "Believe all women" in this movie. Okay, but then you have this plot where the guy at the frat guy, he didn't actually kidnap your friend. It was his alien imposter. So the women were wrong. And don't you see how this doesn't work within the message you're trying to go for? Believe all women, but no, the frat guy didn't kidnap her. It was an alien clone and the main characters were all wrong. That contrasts your message. You really needed to think of something different to say, and plus he turns out to be like the only nice guy in the whole frat. It just doesn't fit from a rhetoric standpoint. I don't know. But anyway, from there, aliens are quite quick to attack, and I mean, that's good because, you know, then you know that it's actually an alien invasion, when characters will still question after the bodies hit the floor, but whatever. And I guess after this point, the movie gets okay again. You know, there were some rocky starts here in the setup and a few things that didn't work, but after that, we're running around town, we're fighting aliens, it's fast moving, it's upbeat, it's got the pop and the quip and the jokes, and it's fine. But I do want to say, with this whole doppelganger element, when you look at the really good alien replacement movies, think The Thing and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, those were all about the paranoia, where you could never sit still alone with someone because you never could know if they were an alien or not. This movie does not have a deep-rooted sense of paranoia. There's only a few scenes where they go, "Are you an alien?" And for the most part, you kind of have an idea who is and who isn't. So it's not as good of a paranoia thriller as the setup would tend to imply. Again, kind of sad there. There's also a really, really easy test. Aliens have green blood. Do a little cut, you'll know if you're an alien or not. Super easy test. The characters only do this once. That was a little frustrating. And also the one time they do it, how do you do the blood test? You get a knife and you prick your finger. Why do people in movies always go for the hands? For real, my cat scratched my hand like a week or two ago, and that hurt like crazy. The hands are sensitive. You move the fingers. You do a lot of stuff with the hand. Like, just cut your forearm or something. Like, don't... Why do they always go, "I just need a drop of blood"? Shh, I hate that. And also, they use the same knife without cleaning it. Do you not know about bloodborne diseases? Every person in that group has whatever disease the frat guy had, because he did it first. And, I mean, he is a frat guy, I'm just saying. Clean the knife. Best if everyone uses their own knife. That scene bugged me, and they only do it once, despite it being a foolproof test. And also, if the alien's blood is green, they should have a green hue to their skin, and they don't. But I'm rambling. Overall, I do want to say the movie, it was fine enough. It's just not what I'm into. I really like, with horror comedies, the good ones, you know, like, say, Gremlins, Return of the Living Dead, Reanimator. You know, it's all about just saying, we have this concept, and we're gonna push it beyond its natural reach and just see how far, and then it gets crazy. And those are the kind that I like better. When they're horror first, and they're horror focused, and they're darker. And so much of these are comedy first, these new ones, and in turn that they just don't feel the same. So it's just really not something I'm into, but I know they make a ton of them. There must be an audience for it, and a lot of you guys are probably gonna like it, but to me it was just kind of annoying. But overall, for a lazy Saturday afternoon, if you want to see a few jokes and a few aliens get killed, it's fine, but I definitely had a few problems with it. But this is one of those that, for the right audience, they'll probably think it's great, you know? But anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Into the Dark playlist. I've covered at least the first 6 episodes in every season, but if you're watching this in the future, I am looking to eventually get to them all, and being episode 6, this is about the halfway point. I did, February had 3 actually, so technically I'm 1 ahead of that. So if you guys want to see more Into the Dark, a playlist should pop up here in a second. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Into the Dark playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.